Hey, good evening. This is Richard, and I guess I wanted to uh, give my thoughts on the political situation that's going, or the current political situation as I see it. Um First and foremost, I'll be up front. Uh, I've always been a conservative, and so uh, you probably know this will limit the number of candidates that I'm in favor of, but I'm also I've taken a view that I'm just tired of the Republican establishment taking advantage of us. We got a majority in the House now. We're there in the Senate, and we still can't get anything done. We can't move forward. It's just getting ridiculous. But looking at all the candidates on the Republican side, uh, I'm drawn to Donald Trump for reasons other than I think he would make a good president. Uh, and I like Carly Fiorina, because she's an outsider. And I I love Ted Cruz. Matter of fact, I'm going to be voting for Ted Cruz, so I'll say that up front. And Marco Rubio, I was a big fan of his, but just he's he's part of the Republican establishment again. So, but let's talk about how we see him all. Um, and I like Dr. Ben Carson, so it's not he's an outsider too. So I think the American people are just freaking fed up. We are fed up with the status quo. We put these people in office and they get nothing done, and everything's the last minute. Like this omnibus bill that was just passed. The Democrats got everything they wanted in a thing. Were there any Republicans fighting that? No, for fear of shutting down the government. Oh my God. So, what I'm looking at, I think what it's going to come down to in this election cycle, I think Ted Cruz and Donald Trump, it'll be between those two there and getting the nomination. Uh, I think Donald Trump has a big advantage in one sense, and that is Donald Trump is not a conservative. Now he's espousing conservative ideas, and he's Republican. And I actually think he would do the things that he says he's going to be doing. I believe it. But not all of Donald Trump is there as a conservative. He's missing a few things there, a few things out of the puzzle there. But what where Donald Trump has the advantage, he's likable in the sense that he's a businessman and he gets things done. So he's likable across the board, okay? Across the board. In other words, he is going to be able to pull Democrats, independents, and conservatives, or we should say, okay, let's say Republicans and conservatives into the fold or into his fold for uh, during this primary. So I think that's where he has the advantage. Now, Ted Cruz, he's kind of at a disadvantage because he is a well-known conservative, and he has shown that he's going to be stepping up, uh, espousing conservative principles, conservative ideas, and I think he is going to go to the mat. I think out of all the people, I mean, in previous presidential elections, I voted for them because they were Republican. I mean, I had no choice. Okay, in this case, I really think Ted Cruz is going to do is he what he says he's going to do. He's going to do it. Okay, and I agree with him on just about everything uh, of his platform as far as what he uh, is, tells us. So I have no problem with that, and I think he'll do it, which makes it even better. People like McCain and Romney, I voted for them because they're Republican, and that was the only thing I had to choose from. But with Ted Cruz, I think we got something going, so that's a good thing. Uh, so on this Cruz and Trump thing, like I said, I think Donald Trump will have a wider base than Ted Cruz. But I think if people take a serious look at Ted Cruz, and he's a consummate, I don't want to say he's a establishment politician. He's not. I don't think he's like that. I think he's a man of his word, and he's going to get things done. Um, Donald Trump, on the other hand, I think there's some issues with, he's going to waffle on, but we'll see how that goes as far as as we go down the road here in the next few months. As soon as these primaries are held and we start seeing the results of what's going to happen here in these primaries. So it's going to be interesting, and I think Ted Cruz has got an uphill fight, but I think Ted Cruz is a tenacious individual. He's a very smart individual. The guy is he's brilliant. When he speaks from the heart. He speaks in a manner that in just wants to bring you in, and talks in a manner that you understand what he's saying. So, and Donald Trump, he doesn't give any specifics, but Cruz does. And I'm not knocking Donald Trump. I do appreciate what he's done. He has turned this campaign, or this presidential election, upside down as far as the media is concerned. The media that once thought that we were slaves to the media, Donald Trump now has shown the way to deal with these idiots. Okay, you just either you don't accept the premise of their questions, you ignore them if you need to ignore them, you call them out and say what you want to say. Don't worry about that. There's people are getting their news from so many other places, so I wouldn't even worry about the media anymore. They become dysfunctional. So, but I think it's going to be a showdown between Trump and Ted Cruz, and I'm going to be rooting for Ted Cruz, of course. And I'm going to do everything. I'm going to throw my support. I've already made donations to his campaign and stuff. So we'll see how that goes. But if you got any suggestions or comments or whatever concerning this post, hey, please feel free. Send me a post. Love to hear from you. So I'll let you go. I'm a conservative in the small island, or on the small island of Okinawa, Japan. So if you got any questions, hey, shoot me an email, whatever. Have a good night. Take care.